Hey guys, hope y'all doing well. It's Friday morning now. I'm actually headed to Birmingham. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about some random things. Yeah, I know Ray did a good video talking about firewood, so I want to give you my thoughts since I'm doing it, obviously, and let you know what I got going on right now. In terms of today and just random talk. So yeah, headed to Birmingham now, guys. Been on the road since about 5:30. About a 2-hour drive. I say Birmingham's actually Pelham, Alabama, which I guess technically is Birmingham, but it's the south side of Birmingham. So at least I don't have to worry about driving through downtown. But yeah, I got to get 10 certification points for my my spray application license. So that's something you got to do, is make sure you're getting those certification points. So yeah, it comes due as far as the license. It needs to be renewed every 3 years. So you can either retake the test, which is something I don't have to worry about doing, or you can get your 30 certification points within that 3-year period. So yeah, I got 20 last year. So now obviously I'm having to get 10 more to get those 30 that I need to renew. So that's what I'm doing now. Hopefully they'll let us out a little early. I mean, it's just pretty redundant information they'll be talking about. So yeah, pretty boring, and a lot of it's common sense, but you got to do it in order to get recertified, renewed. So that's what I'm doing now, going ahead and getting that knocked out. I'm actually getting ready to pull into McDonald's, get a coffee and a biscuit. So yeah, I'll pause you right here. Talk to you shortly. Hey guys, I'm back. I just got my McDonald's, my coffee. I love McDonald's biscuits and coffee. Although obviously nature is probably gonna be calling in an hour or so. Luckily, I'll be should be at the location where the class is gonna be held by then. So if I need to use the bathroom, I'll be good to go. But anyway, yeah. It's always good too, by the way, guys. I mean, you know how it is, these fast food restaurants these days, the people be kind of rude. I mean, honestly, a lot of times I'll go in the McDonald's, my area, which I don't eat there a lot. And I never, typically I won't eat anything other than breakfast. Like I said, I like their biscuits and their coffee, but a lot of times you go in, of course they got the, those kiosks where you can order from, and I don't like really doing the kiosks. I'd much rather just have a person take the order. So yeah, literally you can go in and sit there for forever for somebody finally comes up to the register, to take your money, and they'll kind of look at you like, why aren't you using the kiosk? Yeah, I'd just rather use a person personally. And obviously a lot of times people there can be rude, and you can tell they just don't really like their job, so to speak. But luckily this lady here, like she was the only one there in the drive-thru. She was real kind and courteous, and actually said thank you, which is kind of unusual. It kind of frustrates me when people just aren't very courteous or thankful. It'd be something I would do if I was running a restaurant, McDonald's or whatever it may be. I'd tell the cashiers to be friendly, be approachable. Tell them thank you, the customer. They come to your store and spend money. But yeah, a lot of the people nowadays just don't do that. But it is what it is. But yeah, luckily that lady seemed real nice and friendly, so I appreciate that. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about the class again, guys. Again, I got to get my 10 points to get recertified. Yeah, I definitely want to avoid having to take the test again. And just to bring this up, guys, a lot of you guys may not know, if you're not doing treatments like I do, maybe you just spray Roundup, maybe you just have a little, sprayer, backpack sprayer or handheld sprayer that you carry around and spray Roundup. I mean, a lot of people don't realize you need to have a license to do that. So it's not illegal to spray Roundup in your own yard, but technically it is illegal. And I'm assuming this is every state. I know it is Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, Tennessee. There's a law about spraying it commercially. So yeah, if you're using Roundup on properties, technically you're supposed to have a license. Now, let's go ahead and say it, the chance of you being stopped any given given day are very low. I've only been stopped a couple of times, and obviously I have my license, I don't have to worry about anything. But yeah, I mean, they're not just checking people with the big spray rigs like I have on my other spray truck, my Zuzu truck with a sprayer on it. But yeah, they'll check people just, going around mowing, seeing if they got any kind of spray tank. And, obviously a lot of times people are going to be spraying Roundup. So yeah, if you're doing that commercially, any other property other than your own yard, you're actually supposed to have a license. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. It's not hard getting the license itself. The test's pretty easy. Yeah, I do recommend studying it. And then it's just a matter, like I said, once you get your license, you gotta get so many certification points, 30 points, in order to have it renewed. And it gets renewed every 3 years. So I just want to throw that out there, guys. Just make sure you're doing that. making sure you're staying above board, because yeah, it's a pretty big fine if you get caught, if you get pulled over. I don't think they give you a warning. I think it's a $500 fine, and they'll even check you if you got, like I had my buddy last year that it wasn't him, as one of his workers was spraying a yard without sleeves, and he didn't have sleeves on, obviously, like I said, and was fined $500 for his worker not having sleeves. Because yeah, you need to also have, if you're out there spraying yards, I don't think you have to really worry about this if you're spraying Roundup, but if you're spraying yards, you need to make sure you have the right gear on, the right kind of clothing, the PPE. They be talking about that actually in this course here coming up this morning. It's pretty common sense, but yeah, it's got to do it. But anyway, yeah, you got to make sure if you're spraying a yard and doing a treatment that you have the right kind of clothing on, and that's what he got in trouble for. And it wasn't a warning; it was just a $500 fine there for that. So yeah, make sure you got your license, guys. And this is a good time of year to go ahead and get your test if you don't already. It's something you want to avoid happening to you, because you never know when somebody, a state agent, I think it's the Department of Ag and Resources for the state of Alabama, they'll have an agent or agents that basically just patrol the state. And you never know where they're going to be, where they're going to be at, and they can pull you over at any time and just check. And yeah, if you don't have that license, you're screwed. So yeah, and then obviously, the more times you get stopped and caught, the more severe the penalty is going to be. So that's something you got to consider, guys. So yeah, now's a great time in the winter when we're slower. You got time to breathe a little bit, and you can take care of that if you don't already have the license. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, enough of that, guys. Just thought I'd bring that up. I got something else brewing. Yeah, so last night, guys, it's something I got to get a better job of doing. Hope you're doing it. In terms of checking your account, checking your online banking, just making sure everything looks right. So yeah, I try to check at least a few times a week. Maybe I need to start doing it every day, just to see if anything's going on. So yeah, last night I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was just checking my account, and I noticed 2 charges, that weren't mine, and not just $20. Yeah, they were both. One was almost $1,200 from AT&T. I don't use AT&T. Yeah, one was almost $1,200. It's $1,199.99. So I'm like, I know I haven't, had that charge or paid that amount recently. Luckily, it's pending. And then another one was some other random charge for a little, like 12. Yeah, it's $1,257. So yeah, when I saw that last night before I went to bed, it took me a while to kind of calm down. So I mean, you're talking $2,500, guys, that I didn't pay. So obviously that made me a little uneasy. And luckily I went ahead and just canceled the card. And I got my buddy Bart, who's vice president at the Regions that I bank with in Auburn, the branch in Auburn. He's the vice president. Really good guy. So I made sure to text him about it so he can look into it. So he's gonna be calling me. So yeah, y'all, make sure you're checking your account every so often, just so you can avoid those potential fraud, charges. Because I mean, that's a lot of money. That's almost $2,500. Yeah, I mean, that kind of freaked me out a little bit. It took me a while to go to sleep. I finally, obviously, went to sleep. Didn't get to sleep very long, because obviously I had to wake up pretty early to go to Birmingham. But yeah, be checking your account, making sure you're not finding anything unusual in there, because I mean, that's a lot of money to be coming out, and hopefully it get taken care of. Luckily, both of those particular charges were pending, so I'm hoping that'll make it easier to cancel it or whatever it is that hopefully Bart will be able to take care of it for me. Because yeah, again, a lot of money, guys. So yeah, be checking your accounts, making sure everything looks right. Again, I'm probably gonna need to start doing it every day instead of just a couple times a week. Just make sure I'm not noticing anything unusual. But anyway, hey, listen, guys, I gotta get some kind of holder for this phone, so I'm gonna take a little break from holding this phone. I'll get back with you here in a minute. I'm gonna talk about Ray did a good video, by the way, yesterday, and he mentioned me, with the firewood. Let's talk about the firewood and some points I want to make about it, and we'll get into some other things too. Talk to you soon. Hi guys, I'm here now. Yes, I'm 20 minutes early. I always try to be early, guys. I was raised to be not only on time, I mean on time, like you're supposed to be somewhere like 8. I always try to be 10 minutes early if I can. That's just how I was raised. And I remember growing up, playing sports. And if you were, obviously if you were late, the coach, would run the crap out of you. But yeah, y'all, I'm here now. 7:40 now. Class usually start. It'll probably start about 15-20 minutes after 8. Once everybody gets registered and signed in. But yeah, y'all, one point I want to make before I talk about the firewood and some points, involving that. So yeah, in terms of trying something that I do to try to avoid, the fraud, the credit card fraud that's obviously rampant these days. It's something you just got to, worry about. And I actually got a new card. I experienced this about a month ago, and I've had, obviously I had to cancel that particular card for this one that apparently was compromised recently. So yeah, it's kind of frustrating for sure, when you having to deal with it, on multiple occasions within just a few weeks. So yeah, it's problematic. Something I like to do, guys, is I try to avoid swiping it very often if I can. Like typically I only use it at the gas station that I meet at, and we get gassed up in the mornings. That's one place that I'll use it at. But any other location, especially outside of town, like I just got gas, so obviously I don't have a car to use anyway, but even if I did, I would use cash. Yeah, I try to avoid swapping at any unusual place that I'm not used to being at or using it at, just to avoid any kind of credit card fraud that may occur. So that's just something I do, something I throw out there. I think less is more for sure. I mean, obviously I've got the Amazon account. So frankly, honestly, guys, I worry about, even though I got the iPhone, Apple is known for having good security within its phone, the system and all that. But I worry about it getting bugged and somehow people getting into my phone and getting some of that information out, with a credit card. So yeah, you got to avoid these, the random emails that may look like a legitimate company that asks for your information. Yeah, be real careful about that. That's something I look out for in terms of, putting in any kind of information and any kind of, whether it's over your phone, computer. A lot of times it comes through the email where they'll say you owe some money and it looks like a legitimate company when it's really not. So that's something to consider. That's something I try to do. But yeah, obviously it's not, something went on. Hopefully I'll get that money back. But anyway, hey, listen, guys, talking about the firewood. So Ray did a really good video yesterday that I agree with everything. He actually, mentioned me by name, me doing the firewood. Let me say this on the outset. Two things that are really important. First of all, if you don't really enjoy, if it's not something you would enjoy doing, and I enjoy it, that's what I told Ray in a comment, I really enjoy doing the firewood. So I really enjoy cutting it and splitting it and everything that goes with it. I've always liked fire and campfire and all that kind of stuff. So I guess that's why I'm kind of drawn to, to cutting it up and splitting it. Now I'll say this, and I mentioned this too to Ray, I'm not going to be doing this in the summer, when it's super hot, because it's super hard work. So when it's super hot, it's something that I definitely personally, I don't like dealing with. And plus, obviously, I'm really busy with the lawn care. And yeah, overall right now, at least, obviously lawn care is way more lucrative than the firewood. Of course, I've only been doing the firewood since last November. So I'm really just now getting started. So last year was about, building my supply, and I did make some sales with some of the wood that was somewhat seasoned. But now that I got all the seasoned wood, now it's about me making, sales and, making, yeah, getting new customers, bundle customers, bulk wood customers, and I feel like, as the years go by, I'll keep making more and more money doing the firewood. It'll be more profitable. But I mean, it's not like, right away, especially I'm gonna make just a ton of money. I told Ray last week was my first week where I made over $1,000, which, that's pretty good, selling firewood. So yeah, I think I made around $1,200 last week, to go along with my lawn care stuff. So yeah, we had a really good week last week, unlike this week with the rain and whatnot. But yeah, that's one thing to consider. You really want to make sure that you like doing it. If you don't, you're probably going to hate it and you're not going to want to do it. So that's point number one. Point number two, you got to make sure you're in really good shape. So if you got any kind of problems, back problems, knee problems, whatever it may be, yeah, I definitely recommend not doing it, because unless you have some equipment to help you pick up some of these heavy logs and a splitter, that can maybe lift some of these logs onto the deck of the splitter itself to split it, then yeah, I would recommend not doing it. Now, I mean, for me, I'm really strong. I'm on, brag about myself a little bit. So, I mean, just to give you an idea, like yesterday evening, I was working out. I'm trying to work out more often. I mean, I was doing deadlifts with 325 pounds for a bunch of reps. So I have a really strong back. I'm in good shape. So that enables me to be able to lift these logs up, and I don't have any kind of back pain or nothing. So, but yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm in really good shape overall, especially for my age. So yeah, I've got a strong back and strong body overall. So yeah, if you're not in really good shape health-wise, you got any kind of issue with your back, your knees, yeah, don't do it, because I mean, it's hard work, and the lifting up the logs and stuff that I have to do, it isn't easy, and it can get tiring for sure. So yeah, I want to throw that out there, guys. Yeah, any kind of health problems, don't even worry about doing it. It's just too hard to work. Yeah, point number three, those are the main things, guys, if you're going to want to do it. Like I said, you're not going to get rich, right away, especially. It's not something you're going to make a lot of money doing. Again, I spent my first year, building my supply up, so I really haven't made any money until now. I'm just now starting to make pretty good money with my bundle customers with the Ace. They're coming through every week now. So I'm getting, basically around $400 a week in bundle sales just from them. Along with the bulk deliveries. I did a bulk delivery yesterday for $150 for a customer, a lawn care customer. So I'm able to incorporate selling the wood and making deliveries into my everyday schedule with lawn care, doing the cleanups and the visits and that kind of thing. So that's good. That's something that I considered, and works out good in correlation with the lawn care. I can just basically do them the same day. It's not like I'm having to really adjust my schedule a whole lot and deviate from the more lucrative lawn care work, leaf cleanups and so on and so forth, in order to do the firewood deliveries. I can just incorporate it all into one, so to speak. So yeah, that's something you got to consider too, if you can do that. And I'm able to do that. I figured that out. So that's a point there. You got to have a source. Ray mentioned in the video, you got to have a source that you can go to get the wood itself. You don't want to get in a situation, there's something I thought of, you don't want to get a situation where you're having to go out in the woods and cut trees down and haul them out of there and all that kind of stuff. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't have a good source where I could go to and get the wood. So, I've got the two sources. I got my buddy Hunter that has a yard kind of close to my house where he dumps all his debris. I'm able to go there and cut the logs up and load my truck down with a bunch of logs, and I can haul a ton of logs on that truck, 10,000 plus pounds. So I can get a bunch of logs on that truck in one sitting, so to speak. Usually it'll take me about 3 to 4 hours to load my truck up with a bunch of logs, assuming they're there. And I don't have to worry about, the cleanup. It's just getting the logs, cutting them up, all the limbs and stuff that are left over, I can just leave there. So that works out good. I'm able to get the logs themselves from a location there, and I have people that deliver or that bring loads in of wood. Now, you never know what's going to be brought in necessarily, because I don't know a lot of these people that are bringing the wood in. But obviously, if it's a good oak or hickory or whatever it may be, obviously I'm going to try to cut that up if I can. The loads that are being brought in into the location where I process the wood, where you see my piles and my shed and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's a big deal. If you don't have a good source, frankly, that's being that's being brought to you, it's gonna be hard to be hard to do it, and it be feasible and economical. Because again, it's not like you're making just a ton of money doing it, and you don't want to get to a situation where you're spending a lot of time going out in the woods or just trying to hunt for it. Because you're going to have a lot of it. You're going to have a volume, an amount of wood, a lot of volume in order to make the money ultimately, if you're going to make good money. But yeah, y'all, hey, listen, I'm getting ready to go in. I see some guys over here. Looks like they're getting ready to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I sign up. I'll, on the way home, we'll talk about some other things involving the firewood. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I've been on the road for about 30 minutes now, headed back home. So yeah, I was really glad to be able to get that class done. So now I don't have to worry about getting any more points, and I'll be able to renew without taking that test. So that's the main reason why, obviously you want to get the points. And even the instructor made a point saying these tests are getting harder and harder because they're adding more and more information, more and more study material you gotta take in, to study for. And it's just different, it's different than it was when I took it several years ago. So yeah, glad I was able to get that done for sure. I probably won't do anything next year since I'll have 3 total years to get the 30 points now that I've renewed officially. And so I doubt I'll do anything next year. I'll just worry about it the couple years after to get those 3 classes taken care of. But anyway, so yeah, glad to get that done. I'm gonna give you an update on the fraud deal. So yeah, Bart got back in touch with me talking about the fraud. So yeah, y'all, literally I had one of the charges, and this is like I said, almost $1,200 is $1,199.99. So yeah, $1,200, and it was an ATT bill, and I don't use AT&T. So yeah, it was from Chicago apparently, and the other one was $1,257 and some change, and it was from somewhere in Texas. So I'm wondering how in the world did that happen? It's 2 separate charges from 2 separate states, obviously pretty far apart there. So I don't know how in the world that happened. So I'm trying to figure that out. Luckily, the car is closed. He was telling me, and obviously I did this with my other bank, PNC. I had a business credit card, which is less likely to get hacked or used by someone else other than yourself. So yeah, I need to do that. The one I had previously had like a $5,000 limit. I think there's some different things with the actual credit card. This is a debit card, attached to my business account. So I think the debit cards, are obviously a little more likely to get, fraud or getting hacked and people using them, that kind of thing. So yeah, he was like, yeah, we need to make sure we get a business credit card to help prevent that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. Hopefully get that done next week, because I can't keep having this happen, So yeah, I mean, I even with me taking some safeguards and some measures, I mean, it shouldn't be happening every month, so to speak. So yeah, he did say that, it shouldn't be a problem me getting the money back. And that's close to what, $2,500 total. Yeah, close to $2,500. Those 2 transactions that are out of my account. So yeah, obviously I want that money back. And he said it shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to getting that back. It will take a few days, I think 10 business days, that kind of thing, for it to go through the process. With Regions itself, that's who I bank with, Regions. To get that put back into my account. So I have to wait, a good week and a half or so to be able to get it back, but it shouldn't be an issue, luckily. So yeah, hope that situation is resolved. It's just a matter of me getting that business credit card to help prevent this from happening again in the future. And I'll just use it whenever I swipe, the card, and I'll probably end up having another, $5,000 limit, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking to do in order to prevent that from happening again. But yeah, guys, let's talk about firewood. Got a couple other points. One of the main reasons why I decided to do it, other than the 2 that I mentioned, was in order to keep guys busy. So not only keep guys busy, but especially when I have, just on a salary, I don't like getting in a situation where obviously you're going to have bad weather. It's going to be, you know, more rainy and wet in the wintertime, in the winter months. So if I'm going to pay a guy a salary, I don't want him getting a lot of off days when it's too wet to mow, too wet to do landscaping jobs, that kind of work outside. So again, the firewood is doable even when it's raining. Like, I mean, just the other day, I spent all day Monday and half a day Tuesday just splitting wood, and we ended up basically running out Tuesday. And of course, it started, having bad weather that afternoon, so I decided we would leave around lunch anyway. But I mean, you can still do it when it's wet. You can set up, a tarp or a tent, a covered tent of something to keep you, out of the rain to be able to do that. So you can do it when it's too cold, wet. Like I said, when the weather is inclement, you can still do firewood related stuff. So that was kind of my thinking, especially when I put Justin on salary. I want to have something to do that we both can do, when you can't do landscaping work. So that was kind of my thinking there too. And just in general, if I have more guys working, even if they're not on salary, you want to be able to keep guys busy in the winter, keep money coming in. So that's another reason for doing it, is just thinking, well, I can make some money. It may not be a whole lot of money, but it can be some money to help keep guys busy if I have more guys working for me, and especially in the future if I have more employees, that kind of thing. It'll be a good add-on into the business I have already, to keep money coming in the winter. So that was some other reasoning behind it. But anyway, hopefully it was helpful. Y'all let me know if you got any questions about the firewood and the business itself, and that kind of thing. So y'all, I'm headed home now. I had a list for Justin to do, so he should be close to getting done with the list that I had, depending on when he started. He had a few other little errands he had to do in the morning, so I'm not really sure when he got started, but I need to call him here in a minute. But I'm gonna get back home. We got 1 yard we got to do in the neighborhood, and then I got to finish up, or at least start working more. We started on it, the retention pond in my neighborhood that I never was able to finish in the summer. Luckily, the president of the HOA was cool with us not worrying about it, because it was just miserable out there when we were working on it. But we'll probably work on it for an hour or two, whenever I get home. But anyway, hope you're having a great week, guys. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm gonna be doing a video soon. Just before I forget, I'll let you know. Talking about some things I got going on in my business, to give you an idea of my future plans. And like I said, I'm looking at some land with the possibility of building a shop, maybe multiple shops, depending on the information that I can gather. So we'll talk about that hopefully in this weekend's video. Do some more business related talk. I think you'll find it more beneficial, hopefully, and maybe interesting, as long as I do a good job of explaining myself and putting things together. I'll even maybe get a clip of the land that I'm really interested in, letting y'all see and getting your opinion as far as what you think too, because I'll value your opinion and your thoughts as well. But we'll look forward to doing that video. God bless each and every one of you guys. Talk to you later.